Okay, it's People in 10. And I'll give you one guess what we're talking about first today. Love is dead. So what am I gonna do? Joe Jonas did what he had to do apparently, file for divorce from Sophie Turner. This is 4 years after they got married. But also he supposedly sang a love song written for Sophie at a concert over the weekend, and wore his wedding ring on stage, and even posted photos with the ring front and center. Make it make sense. One thing we do know, they have a prenup, so hopefully things won't get too messy for them or their 2 daughters. The hard launch of the week comes with a side of PDA. Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet got cozy at Queen B's B-Day concert. Shout out to TMZ for these pics. We've been wondering what's going on with these two for months. So it all went down in a box at SoFi Stadium in LA. Apparently Kylie's sis Kendall was there too, but that didn't stop this makeout from happening or this one. Now listen, I just saw Beyonce and it was incredible. But let's just say we had very different nights. Now see, these girls know what I'm talking about. Kerry Washington, Kelly Rowland, and Meghan Markle walk into a bar. I'm just kidding. They also hit up the LA tour stop, and look at all that silver, just like the Queen asked for. And Beyonce, we trust.
I pull up in these clothes, look so good.
Gather around, we gotta talk about this. Zaddy alert, Patrick Dempsey has my heart racing, y'all. He's in his Silver Fox era and the internet is eating it up. So Patrick got the okay to promote his new movie Ferrari at the Venice Film Festival, even though the actor strike is still going on. And honestly, thank God for that.
Stop looking at me like that.
Like what?
Forget McDreamy, he's on McZaddy now. Our fit of the week goes to this Venice vixen, Kate Beckinsale. She brought the drama to the red carpet. I mean, let's just take a moment to appreciate this beauty, shall we? She's wearing George Jacques Couture and it hit all the right spots. You've got the sheer, the sparkly gold fringe, that plunging neckline, and I can't even imagine walking in those. Kate, you better work.
It's beautiful.
You know, it's our favorite when a celeb just kind of lets loose, and we have Tom Holland to thank for this candid of Zendaya just goofing off on a boat. He posted it to celebrate her 27th birthday with no filters, no hair and makeup, just Z living her best life. You know what they say, the couple that plays together stays together, right? We sure hope so. Kourtney Kardashian had us on baby watch with a trip to the hospital this past week. Now, we don't actually know her due date, but when Blink-182 paused their European tour and Travis Barker came home to be with her, we thought this might be it. But turns out it was a brief hospital stay for an emergency surgery, which ultimately saved their baby's life. Thankfully, Kourt's already back home with baby boy safe in her tummy. Whew, I can't wait for the burning question, and I'm calling someone who has all the deets.
Hey, McCall, I think I know why you're calling.
Yes, so this Kevin Costner divorce situation is staying messy. He even admitted that he still has love for her with everything that's gone down. How did it get so ugly between these two?
Well, what else? It always comes down to money with these types of couples. So Christine was initially wanting over $170,000 in child support, which is a pretty high sum. And instead, Kevin has been ordered to give her $60,000 in child support. It's a pretty big blow to Christine.
These are mind-blowing numbers. What do they even need this amount of money for?
I know, right? I would love all that money. But according to Christine's lawyers, luxury is in their 3 kids' DNA. So they are very used to living in a house by the ocean that has, you know, pools and a cook and tennis courts. So she wants to replicate that kind of lifestyle for her kids when they get their new home with her. So that's basically what she needs the money for, according to her.
Well, this tea is piping hot. Thank you so much, Nigel, for breaking it down for us.
Yeah, it was good talking.
All right, talk to you later. Bye. And we're raising our margaritas all week to Jimmy Buffett, husband, father, brother, and inspiration to us all to just soak up life's simple pleasures. The quote of the week actually comes from his memoir. If there is a heaven for me, I'm sure that it has a beach attached. Sounds like paradise. Rest in peace, Jimmy. It's time for the sit down with Gabriel Iglesias. Hi, Gabriel.
Hi.
You're currently on your Don't Worry, Be Fluffy tour. Now, I want to know, what are some things that worry you right now? And how do you remind yourself to be fluffy about them?
I try to be as optimistic as possible, but I'm also realistic. So some things, you know, you just got to deal. You just got to deal with it and be like, all right. And once you get through it, then you're like, okay, I can breathe again. So I do still stress, unfortunately. I wish I didn't stress over certain things, but I can't help it. You know, I'm always worried about the shows, making sure that, is this show going to go over okay? How's the sound going to be? How's the lighting going to be? How expensive is it going to be? You know, what's the turnout going to be like? Those are things that still, you know, concern me. I do travel with my pets, so I always want to make sure that wherever I'm going, that there's not any issues. So I am concerned about stuff like that. And then, of course, you know, the traveling. Ever since the plane situation, every time we get on a plane, I'm just like, all right, hold your breath. Here we go. And so every takeoff and landing now, I really focus on it. And so, yeah, things like that worry me.
A few years ago, you spoke to people about taking a break from comedy to put your physical and mental health first. So what are the parts of your routine that you stick to every day while on tour to keep yourself a priority?
Well, you know what? I think that during that time, I was a lot more into health, fitness, wellness. Now it's more so like, can we hit a Starbucks? I'm trying to get into a better mindset and, you know, going to get a coffee before we hit the venue. It's a nice little reset. You know, we all walk in. I think that's pretty cool just to walk in and we're all doing something together. Granted, it's just buying coffee, but it gives us an opportunity to have a little conversation, a quick little catch up, look at each other in the face versus being on a plane facing forward or checking into the hotel and everybody goes their own separate ways.
What's your favorite city to perform in for the food?
Favorite food city is actually San Antonio, Texas, because there's Tex-Mex, which is probably my favorite. There's also great barbecue, and San Antonio also has a lot of just great restaurants for whatever it is that you're trying to eat. But Tex-Mex is definitely my favorite.
And what's your favorite city to perform in for the people?
It's always been San Antonio and El Paso. And El Paso is one of those where people question it, but I'm like, it's more so just because of how much history I have with that city. It's the first city that welcomed me to perform as a comedian, as just, you know, an entertainer. I was not able to perform in comedy clubs in Los Angeles back in 1997 because you had to have an in, you had to have representation, or you had a name in order to be at a club or stand in line for 4 hours and be part of an open mic or something, maybe like at the Comedy Store. But the first comedy club to welcome me was in El Paso, Texas. And that's the first place where I realized, wow, people know who I am here, and they would come out.
You made headlines last fall when you threw a quinceañera for your dog, Risa. I mean, no expense was spared. It was so amazing. How's 2023 treating her so far?
You know what? Right now she's in her bed, sleeping. She spends a lot of time sleeping. I know that quinceañera implies 15, but she's actually closer to 17. So, you know, she's an older dog, and I'm lucky to still have her at this age.
Okay, give me the dish about comedy and your celebrity friends. Who's the last comedian that made you really laugh?
I actually got a chance to take Jim Jeffries on the road with me recently. And it's funny because Jim Jeffries and I are very different when it comes to our comedy. You know, I'm a lot more, I guess, family friendly, if you will. And Jim is the complete opposite. But we're friends, and I enjoy his comedy because it's so different from what I do. And he's able to get away with a lot more. And I figured I was going to perform at a casino, and casinos are a lot more lax, and it's supposed to be 21 and over. So I knew that there wouldn't be any children present, so I invited him to come and hang out and do a set. And yeah, he's a riot. The things that he says, I told him, I says, you know, Jim, I envy the fact that you can go on stage and say anything you want and get away with it. And he looked at me and he goes, I envy your money. And I was like, you know what? I get it.
And finally, pick one of your upcoming projects and tell us why people should check it out in 10 seconds. Go.
Go on Google and type the word Fluffy out. I am the first thing that pops up. Anything and everything you want to know about me is right there. The word Fluffy. I own it. Try it.
Gabriel, thank you so much for being here today. Now everyone, head to fluffyguy.com for more info on the Don't Worry Be Fluffy tour coming to a city near you.